Ice Winner 33.
Mr. Will Damrath, we ready for some hockey this Sunday afternoon?
January 30th in the Springs this evening. We've got your Regis Raiders here already taking the ice. In their white uniforms will be the visitor squad. Alan, how are you this evening?
Doing fantastic. Glad to be joining you here in the beautiful Colorado Springs. Seratich, did I get that right? Seratich?
Sertich. I've heard a few different variations, but I think folks know where we are in the middle of a nice downtown park in Colorado Springs.
It's a beautiful old arena. I've only had one other occasion to be here when I was coaching the Bantams, first-year Bantams, and we showed up for a game that we coordinated, but we sent the opposing team to World Arena, so it turned into a practice for us.
Well, we've got the Springs team out here, so we've got two teams. That's good. That's a good start.
That's the right way to start it, no doubt. Listen, we want to thank our sponsors for the game today, and if I get this wrong, Seratich was probably easier than this, and I'm going to give this one a shot, Mr. Damrath. Make sure I get this correct. Abuelo Pulito and Abuela Myra. How did I do?
Sound pretty good.
Not bad.
You sound like you're from south of the border there, Alan.
And I'm not. I'm from north of it, so even a greater gap. That is Connor Ihaya's grandparents. A big thank you to the Ihaya family who sponsored yesterday's game, and Abuelo Pulito and Abuelo Myra for chipping in today to sponsor today's broadcast. And well, here's a unique thing. Every week I hand you a piece of paper and say, make sure you cover our featured player. We have no featured player today.
We can feature the second goalie tonight. He's wearing a special uniform. We've got a red jersey on the second goalie tonight. There was a little jersey mix-up, so we're making do here. But had a little fun with that. One of the teenagers forgot their uniform. I think their white jersey, thinking we were a away team tonight. But
so let's run through the lineup. We got Eli Ash, who's going to be our first line center. He's going to be supported by Edison Barnes, who got 2 goals in yesterday's contest. Number 51, Eddie Barnes. We got Pete Armitage on his right side. We got Parker Brenner, the center in the second line, with Nolan Williams, who one-upped Barnes yesterday. Nolan got 3. Got a hattie. Yeah. Mr. Nolan Williams. What do you think about that performance?
Well, what was really neat about it was and the kids have been talking about the chemistry they're developing, and a lot of times goals come in spurts for teams, and early in the season, very few goals spread around, and now all of a sudden, boom, you get some chemistry with a few guys playing well together, seeing the ice, and they score multiple goals, and that was really fun to see.
We had 3 players with multiple goals yesterday, and all of them were just tremendous performances. So again, Parker Brenner up the middle for the second line. Nolan Williams on his left side. Avery Osgood moving up the lineup. Second line, Mr. Avery Osgood. Good to see that.
Yeah, he played well. He took some hits and kept the puck on his stick and made some really really nice passes yesterday, so well deserved for him.
Connor Ihaya, our sponsor's grandchild. Mr. Connor Ihaya is going to be centering the third line, and he'll be supported by Alex Gregory, another 2-goal performer, and he had won the game prior to that, so 3 in the last 2 games for Gregory, and he'll have Camden Lai on his right side.
He's on a streak. Let's see if we can get a few more players into the streak, or have the same ones scoring more. Be interesting to see.
We're going to have 2 scratches tonight. That'll be Luke Damrath, your boy Will. Wish him a speedy recovery. I know he's not feeling his best. And Drew Lorenzo, quick recovery, speedy recovery to you, Drew, as well. I hope you're tuning in for the broadcast tonight. And with that, we're going to have a 4th line with no center. We'll have a 4th line with Sorensen on the left and Skollerud on the right. So essentially, we'll be double shifting those centers to support that 4th line.
Yeah, give a shout out to Drew Lorenzo. They got some good news from one of my doctors from the past, Joel Gonzalez, one of the best knee doctors, does a lot of the hockey players in town. Took a look at him and said no torn ligaments.
Good.
But you did dislocate your knee. It's going to be more like 4 to 6 weeks, not 4 to 6 months. So that's great news for Drew.
Speedy recovery, like I said, Drew. I hope you guys are tuning in, Drew and Luke tonight. We'll have Drake Woody on D, left side, paired up with Drake Kroll. So Drake and Jake, and then Matthew Carter, number 11 normally, but as you had indicated, probably not tonight. So, unless he gets the tape out and changes that number sequence, you indicated, and I think you're right. Probably going to look like he's wearing a flag out there. But it's going to be Matthew Carter, left side, with Liam Waters on his right for the second line D pairing, and then Liam McDonald with Teddy Armitage on the 3rd line D. And then we'll have Elijah Hernandez starting in net tonight.
All right, so we got Colorado Springs, Alan. Last time, I think we were actually up on them, or it was a pretty tight game, and then they kind of broke it open near the end.
Well, it was a really tight game. I thought a really hard-fought game between the 2 teams. You'll recollect that 3rd period, we took a 4-minute major. Do you remember this happening, where we couldn't figure out why the penalties weren't coming off the board? So Colorado Springs scored 2 different goals during that 4-minute major, and the 4-minute major kept running. So there's a little confusion new to the program, or new to hockey over the last couple of years, that you can qualify for a 4-minute major. And then 2 empty netters at the end of the game.
Yep.
So we went from 1 up to I think it ended up being from 1 up to 1 down over the course of those penalties, and then two empty netters on top of that.
Yeah. So this really evenly matched game when you go down for 4 minutes and don't get a guy out of the box. Really a game changer. So I'm sure that'll be a coaching point tonight, and Regis will probably have a sour taste in their mouth since that last game, and look to come out strong here.
So a little shout out to our Colorado Springs fans as well. Had a few families come by the booth and thank us for doing the broadcast, and said they're spreading the link around a little bit. So
super.
A shout out to all the fans for Colorado Springs. I think we're going to see a dandy of a game here on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep. Well, it's a great program, and a lot of the youth programs that a lot of the Regis kids played with several of the kids on the Springs lineup, so they know each other and we know the families, and we're glad to have you guys host us tonight.
Yeah, my boss is going to have to forgive me. I'm used to doing the Saturday evening game, so if I don't wake up on time tomorrow and in my desk, which happens to be about 15 feet away from my bedroom. COVID changed everything, Will Damrath.
Yep.
But if I'm not at my desk in time tomorrow, it's because I've done a Sunday evening game. I'm a little askew.
All right, so we've got Colorado Springs in the All Blacks, trimmed out in gold, no white, just the two-tone, and Regis is in there, all whites, red breezers, red helmets, red gloves, and a little bit of black trim. And here we go with the puck drop. It looks like we got the Brenner Gregory lap bat line out there, and the win comes to Regis. Crowell takes the line and dumps that in, and Brenner's on it hard behind the net. There's a tie-up behind the net. Springs comes up with it, makes a nice move just inside the blue line to get it up and out, and comes wide over the line, poked into the corner. Nice job keeping him on the outside here early. Springs down low in the corner. Brenner on the check, and Crowell joins in.
So that's Williams out there with Brenner's line. And it's good to see Woody back on the ice.
Yep.
After missing a couple games, not feeling his best. Get back there and get a Kroll.
So there's the change. We got Drake Woody and Drake Kroll in a new line out here. We got Avery Osgood, Camden Lai, and Connor Ihaya taking the ice. Springs still keeping it deep. Battle in the corner. Lai picks it up, and he's got a man 2-on-2 with Avery. Tries to throw it to the net off the stick of a defender, and that goes into the corner. Avery Osgood will pick that up and hand it back off to Camden. Camden Lai back to Avery Osgood behind the net, but he gets pinned behind, throws it out in front to Ihaya, but about 6 inches off the ice, couldn't get his blade on it. Liam McDonald throws that back down, and Regis is going to line change here. So puck comes all the way down. That's going to be an icing, I believe.
That'll be our first whistle of the game, 15:31 to go in the first period. How do you like our vantage point here?
A little tough. I just had to step down here. Low ceiling in this particular rink, but lighting is close to the ice, so the ice is well lit.
We really feel like we're right on top of the play here. We're a little closer than what we're used to. The play feels a little faster to me. That or the boys are a little faster today, Will.
Yep, I think a little of both. So Barnes and Ash taking the face-off into the corner. Barnes tries to get that up, but Springs comes up with it with a nice breakout pass off the stick of his player. Hard hit, kind of upended in the neutral zone, and Springs comes up with that and dumps it down behind the net.
Springs player just skated through the body there. I don't think he deliberately looked for the hit.
Nope. Neutral zone's always where both players are moving fast in opposite directions, and you get those types of hits more frequently.
Yep.
So puck's on the back of the net here. Finally comes loose, and McDonald chips that up to Armitage, who can't get it out. Springs doing a good job of throwing that puck back at the blue line. But Regis takes advantage of the line change by Springs, dumps that deep, and they're going to change. Colorado Springs, that stretch pass they were known for last game, they just off the stick of their player, and Brenner's going to pick that up behind the net. Makes a nice move to evade the forecheck and stretch pass of his own to Nolan Williams.
Stole a page out of the book there, the Springs team. We had two guys deep in the neutral zone, spreading it out a little bit.
Yep, and they tried it again, and Waters sniffed it out in the neutral zone. Nice job by Liam keeping that puck up and over the blue line. But it comes back with a hard forechecker, and he's got a strong stick, hangs onto that, gets it to Gregory up the wall. Gregory has to send it back down. Springs player intercepts behind the net, tries to center that puck, but it comes up to the blue line. Brenner tries to get that up and out, and it's turned over at the blue line, and then Waters tries to clear off the back of Gregory, finally does.
That was in the back. That was the back end.
Right off the breezers, as they say. Ihaya on a hard forecheck with Crowell. Keeps that puck, centers to Sorensen, who can't get a shot off, and Springs comes up with it. Nice pass through the middle, and he's breaking on a breakaway. Springs with a nice forehand opportunity, but a beautiful save by Hernandez. And Regis is up and out the other way.
Make a note there with your roster there, number 9 with some wheels coming through the neutral zone.
Yep.
Just blue between our 2D. Offside, yep. So it's probably a good indication, a sign of disciplined play on both squads' parts here, that we're 13 minutes to go in the first period, so 4 minutes into the game, one shot on net.
Yeah.
Boxing them out, that exception, that one shot came through the neutral zone with the Springs coming with speed.
Both teams playing very disciplined. Regis definitely got the message on the stretch pass, and they've adjusted and are looking for that early in the game here. So Springs rims that around Eli Ash and Woody in the corner. Breakout pass to Barnes. He comes back through the middle, just off the stick of Scalrud, and that's fired back down on net. Hernandez is going to put it behind the net to Crowell. Crowell up to Scalrud. Nice chip off the boards, and Barnes is going to get there first with Scalrud driving. Barnes checked hard behind the net, but he keeps it in his skates, waits for support. Scalrud comes in. And nice pick by, I believe, Eli Ash to keep that down low. Eli Ash still controlling the puck in the corner. Now Barnes got his stick on it. He's looking up high. He tries to hit Woody driving down, but just in his skates. So puck gets cycled back down. Scalarid's going to come over to the other corner, and he gets hit really hard, but he comes up with it. Hit hard again, still fighting. Puck squirts out, Crowell's down low. And Springs is going to rim that high off the glass, as you teach your defenders if they're under excessive pressure in their end, Alan.
Good offensive zone pressure by the Raiders. All started by a smart little play by Scalarid to do an area pass and then scissors with Burns and breaking on that odd man rush. Good play by both those two kids.
That chemistry you talk about, that they're starting to feel where each other is going to be on the ice. Puck's up high in the blue line. McDonald tries to clear, gets turned over at the blue line, shot wide of the net. Centering pass intercepted by Brenner. He goes cross ice to Liam. Liam's going to gain the red line, gain the blue line, drop pass it to Gregory for a shot just wide of the net. Nolan Williams is down in the corner. Gets checked off the puck, and Springs comes up with it. Fans on the breakout pass, and that's pinched by Brenner on the wall. Brenner and McDonald waiting. Partner pass on the blue line, dangerous to Teddy Armitage, but he gets a shot off. And Springs is going to come up and out when Regis changes, so.
He probably let that shot go a little sooner than he wanted to. He knew that he had to chip it in, more of a chip shot than anything else, just to keep it onside.
Yeah, and the DD pass, I don't know if you noticed with Armitage up high in the blue line, the winger was right on top of him.
Yeah.
Smart play to get that back in quickly.
Offensive-minded Colorado Springs team with that, as we indicated, those stretch passes, guys hanging high in the neutral zone, pressuring the points in the D zone. They're not sitting back waiting for their goals.
No. So 2-on-1 opportunity snuffed out by Teddy Armitage, but Springs centers it quickly, and good defensive play by Camden Lai to break up the shot. Ihaya down low. Up to Camden Lai, across to Avery Osgood. Nice pass, and they've got a 2-on-1, but a hard forecheck coming on Avery, and tries to get a pass across, but he's just into the corner, and there's a goal. Oh, off the crossbar finally, and so that happened quick. We're gonna have to go back through that for the folks at home.
Yeah, check the replay here, but I think that first one really looked like it was chipped in here, and it might have been back crossbar. But irregardless,
Avery Osgood falling down puts it in the second time if it hadn't gone in.
And that was not in. He did roof it. He roofed it. He was barred down, but barred down. It came popping back out into the crease. Johnny on the spot there with Mr. Osgood.
Avery Osgood sprawling on the ice with the glove off, gets his stick on it and slides that in.
Attaboy, Avery. 1-0 for our Raiders. 9:47 to go.
Barnes coming wide, chips it off the glass, goes and gets it himself, comes up with it behind the net, hands it back off to Pete Armitage. There's a tie up behind the net, comes up with it, centers it in front, and that's a nice quick shot by Armitage. Barnes in the corner, holy cow, he just comes up with the puck.
Well, Will, I'm going to have to defer to you on this one, but I know that generally speaking, goals put a little bit of energy in those legs, and I say that because I personally have never experienced that. You've scored a few in your day.
A couple.
You think Burns, he's got the confidence up, maybe an extra pep in the step with 2 goals that he buried yesterday?
Yeah, he's feeling good and looking good. So Springs with a quick up off the stick of their forward over to Carter. Carter goes D to Waters, but it bounces dangerously off the half wall right in front. It comes up and out. Pete Armitage picks that up in the neutral zone. And Regis is going to ice the puck.
That was tipped.
Waved off by a tip, and they'll change. So puck up into the netting. We'll get a whistle here and regroup. So we got Gregory out there, Brenner, and 53 Nolan Williams.
Nolan Williams, yep.
And I believe that's Drake Woody out there with Jake Kroll. Center ice face-off. Puck went up into the netting.
We do our very best to keep you on your toes, so we like to switch up the jerseys, forget our jerseys from time to time. Bring some players up, swing them up and swing them down. You're doing a good job, Will.
That's going to be nice. So good quick puck movement by Springs right off the center ice faceoff, but the guy didn't get 6 feet from the red line and ice that puck down. He was trying to dump it, get it deep, and that's the good pressure in the neutral zone by the forward to force that play and get a face-off down in the offensive zone.
And for the Springs player there, probably that's their best option. They do come back in their own D zone, but better than turning it over in that neutral zone.
Yep. Brenner with a nice face-off win to Woody, over to Crowell, tipped out of the air. So that's back up. Woody's chasing. Woody tries to clear up over the blue line, but it stays in. There's a battle on the wall. 2 Springs player, 1 Regis, and Regis comes up with it. Crowell tries to go cross ice, and the D steps up hard on the wall to bring that back down low. So Woody comes up with it, tries to get the blue line, and again it gets turned over just inside. Brenner goes down with a tripping call. That's delayed, and now blown dead. So Springs getting really aggressive. That puck went into Brenner's feet and got his stick in there and tripped him. So first power play of the game.
And as any coach will tell you, they'll attest to the penalties that are the worst, the ones that drive them the nuts the most, are those offensive zone penalties. You're 200 feet away from your own net, get your stick in the way, you trip them up, and it's coming all the way back in your own zone. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that. It's a 2-minute minor. 8:13 to go in the first period. Raiders to the power play.
So we got the kid with the hat trick up playing the point for the power play, Nolan Williams, up here on the right side. Ihaya down low to Brenner. Back down to Brenner on top of the circle. Good shot and a rebound, and it's loose. 2 guys on the puck, smart. Brenner patiently cycles it back down to Camden Lai behind the net. Camden Lai showing some good patience. Back to Brenner up to the point. Hard shot, Matthew Carter, and that's a rebound, and it squirts out in front, but Springs gets to it and is able to clear that puck.
That is a big jersey on Matthew Carter.
So, folks, if you don't know, when you have to wear a goalie jersey, the sleeves are about 8 inches diameter larger. So it looks like he's wearing a cape out there. So
he looks like Wayne Gretzky. Wayne used to have that big old jersey be flapping in the wind as he's flying down the ice.
And a stretch pass to Springs on the short-handed with the line change. Gets a shot off, but Elijah makes a nice save.
I think we avoided a tripping call ourselves there, Will.
Yep. Let's break out pass to Ash. He's going to take the zone wide and get possession. Turns to his forehand, cycles back to Pete Armitage. Armitage and Barney in the corner. They lose it, and Springs is able to chip that up into the ref. Drops right at the blue line, and it's all McDonald can do to get his stick on it to prevent a breakaway there. Barnes with it, centering pass to Armitage off his stick, and Springs is going to throw that back down to kill some more time. So Jake Crowell's going to reset here, let the line get out, make a pass up to McDonald. Eli Ash goes down and loses the puck, and that's sent all the way back down. That's going to do it for the penalty, I believe, with 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Puck rims around to Harry Sorensen. He's got a guy on him, so he drops it back to the D. Cross ice over to McDonald. McDonald in the skates of Springs. Ralstat at his blue line turns it over, and Camden Lai goes over to Harry Sorensen, but on his backhand, so he loses it behind the net. Springs having trouble getting it up and out. Regis throws it back down again. They're going to regroup, go D to D, and looking for that wide guy off the skate.
Go Harry.
Of Harry. Harry with a backhand opportunity, front of the net, cleared. And Colorado Springs is just going to bank that off the wall and get a line change.
Early call by the linesman there on the icing, waved it off. Ended up hitting the being on net regardless.
I think he saw all 5 guys change and said, we're not going to call an icing. Parker Brenner wheeling down low. Rethinks it. Tries a stretch pass through the neutral zone. Intercepted by Springs up to the line, and nice step up by Teddy Armitage. That's a delayed offside.
So 5 minutes to go in the first period. My only critique thus far is the passes seem a little sloppy.
Yeah.
So we're not finding open lanes, maybe not moving our feet as much as I'd like to see, and some of those easy tape-to-tape passes we're missing. How much of that is a product of a new rink, new ice, maybe different conditions?
Yeah, I think it's their mindset. I think they're playing to defend the stretch pass by Springs, but I think they're trying a little bit of their own. And that works well if you have defensemen that step up in the play in case that gets intercepted in the neutral zone, which is what McDonald did on that last play.
Yeah.
Matthew Carter chasing into the corner. Springs gets there first, but he pinches him off. Gets the puck back to him. He goes D to Waters. Waters under pressure back to Matthew Carter. Matthew Carter doesn't have anybody up high. He just throws it up and out.
He was looking stretch pass. That was first thought there.
High off the glass. Turnover high in the slot and a shot. Good save by Hernandez, but the rebound comes out and Springs makes no mistake. So that puck bounced off the stanchion. That's that high off the glass play to just clear the zone, and it didn't clear the zone because it awkwardly hit the stanchion on the glass. Dropped right inside the blue line to the Springs player.
Yeah, favorable bounce, kind of a home ice bounce for the Colorado Springs team. But, you know, just preceding that was that turnover in the neutral zone, trying to make a stretch pass from the far corner. Springs did a good job clogging up that neutral zone, picked off the pass, brought it back into the O zone, created that offensive opportunity again. So 1-1 tie with 4:06 to go in the first period.
So Eloy Ash out there. Edison Barnes, Springs is going to dump that down. That is going to get waved as icing.
Strong forecheck.
Yeah, looked like icing all the way, and I didn't know the ref didn't have his hand up to the last minute and did call the icing, but the Springs player was coming hard.
But just generally speaking to the first period, they got two guys in hard. F1, F2, they're attacking hard.
Yep, so Crowell and Woody at the point. Barnes, Ash, and Scalarud out there. Springs again looking for the stretch and far off the mark there for another icing. So they're not worried about the icing calls. They're going to look for that stretch every single time, Alan.
Yeah, we chatted about that last game, and you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a few more icings in a game like this where they sail those wingers really high in the neutral zone. If they don't connect it, most times that's going to turn back into an icing. Something you can do to combat that is win that face-off in the offensive zone, which we've just lost, and see if we can't get some offensive zone pressure of our own.
Ralsted makes a nice breakout pass. That was almost offsides.
Nice save. Mr. Hernandez, 3:31 to go in the first period. Ralstad's a familiar name.
Yep, Ralstad's a Rapu Warrior youth program. Knows a lot of these boys. Good kid, good family. Like to see him out here doing well with that assistant captain A on his jersey.
I was impressed with this game a week and a half ago. When did we play? 2 weeks ago?
Oh, I think it was a week ago.
Yeah, they all meld together, don't they?
Yep. Ooh, shot wide of the net. Back up to Springs. Tied up in the corner by Armitage. McDonald comes over, reverses the play. Osgood gets his skates taken out from under him, and Yahaya has to help out in the corner. McDonald tries a bank pass, intercepted, and Springs with a quick shot wide of the net. Liam McDonald this time gets it high off the glass and down, and they're going to wave that one off. Avery Osgood on the forecheck.
Line's been saying that it was hipped at the blue line.
And another stretch pass tipped in the neutral zone, so Springs is going to come up with that behind the net. Centering pass bounces just past their player. Camden Lai gets that up and over the line. D by Springs, and they're going to send that back down and go for a line change. Oh, centering pass, nice save by Hernandez.
That was a slow motion shot as it snuck its way into the slot. And watch on the replay here, not an easy stretch. You had Hernandez kind of leaning to the left of the net. And watch this move back to the right side just so it stretches that leg well enough so it doesn't sneak in the right corner. Good job, Elijah.
Face-off win to the point. Nice redirect there in front of the net, but just wide. And Nolan Williams is going to chip that up and out with Eli Ash on the forecheck. Springs Sending it back through the neutral zone quick, but intercepted twice, and Springs is back in. Liam Waters puts up some resistance on the wall, but it squirts back out, and a couple chances quickly right in front.
You got number 16 for the Springs, does a little button hook there at the very last second, and that button hook allows him to elude 2 defenders for the Raiders and kind of get an open lane driving towards Elijah, who makes yet another save and a second with his glove.
Exactly what I was going to say. Waters had the correct body position on him and his winger back checking, and he got through both of them, and 2 quick shots on net.
One of them needs to take him.
Another quick shot and a tough save by Hernandez with a rebound out in front. Woody gets there first.
Well, that was deflected by number 19, so harder save than one might imagine.
Yep.
Really tough save on those deflections right there in the slot. Elijah's on his game.
Rallstat back in the corner. Eli Ash picks that up, hands it back to Barnes. Barnes is going to curl to the middle with Armitage just off his stick in the low slot. Springs getting a hard forecheck from Armitage and Ash. And that puck squirts out in front, and it's loose still. There's a scrum in front.
A little slash by Springs player 23. Don't think the refs picked that up, and with the scrum, probably going to let it go, tell everybody to behave themselves, make a line change. 1:21 to go in the first period.
I think there were 3 shoves by Regis and 2.5 by Springs. No calls.
Yeah, that's okay. First little pressure that we've had probably in about 6-7 minutes. Not a surprise that when we do that pressure, where it's coming from is that drive to the net. And shots on net, follow it to the net, create some noise.
Face off win to the wall. Lai gets his stick on it. Liam McDonald steps up hard at the blue line, but Springs just gets it up and out. Springs again can't quite get the red line, but get it over the blue, and that's back up, and they're going to reset and regroup in the neutral zone. Errant pass off the skate of their player, so Regis will come up with that. Carter's going to go to Camden Lai, who's going to send that all the way down. Hard forecheck. Teddy Armitage all the way down low. Finally, he comes back up high, but the puck's up and out. And Yahaya sends that down. They're going to line change with Crowell and McDonald on the point. And
nice job, McDonald.
McDonald just intercepts that stretch pass and fires one high into the glove of the goaltender.
How'd you like to be a winger on the Springs coming up that left side? You take a peek and you see Liam McDonald, 6 foot a lot.
Yeah.
Pension. Come crawling down those boards. You know you're in for some tough contact with a big body McDonald coming at you on that point.
So 27 seconds left in the first period. 1-1. Quick shot by Woody off the shin pad of a Springs player. Barnes again down there. Nice quick breakout pass, and they're up the ice. 3-on-2 opportunity, and squirts through for a quick shot. Probably the last one of the period. Drake Woody just gets that up, and that might be a shot on net. I believe it is.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for the period here. So it's interesting, you talk about Liam McDonald and his size, and on that play, once again, Colorado Springs immediately recognizing when Regis is changing that they want to get that puck up and stretch pass immediately, but Liam McDonald was waiting in the neutral zone and also saw it and stepped right into it and created a nice shooting opportunity.
So that's a coaching style indeed. They want a quick recovery on that dump in, and when they get that quick recovery, they got the guy just heading up, and it's always going to be the far side from the boards because that's the long line change, right?
Yep.
They know that they got that stretch pass on the far boards. One of the things you can do to combat that as a coach or as the players playing the game is when you dump it in, make sure you're dumping it into the right corner. That gives them a little bit more on their own line change, and oftentimes their D, a little bit more of a stretch as far as going and recovering that puck, and less time to set up that stretch pass.
Yeah.
Just dump it in on the far side and make them chase it a little bit.
Well, good tight battle so far, 1-1 game. I wouldn't say either team is really dominating play right now. It's pretty even.
Well, the obvious thing is that we took the lead and gave it back halfway through the period, but I'd say kind of aligned with that. We kind of owned the first half of the first period. I thought our forecheck was strong. We were moving the puck pretty well. We had a lot of energy. You know, the Springs, they stick to their game plan, Will. So they're very disciplined, play the same style, the same concept through the entire period. And about halfway through the first, they wore us down a little bit. I'd say they won the second half of that period.
Yeah. Here we go. So we'll get the long line change in the second period, which is always tricky, and that stretch pass will be even more effective for both squads with the bench further away. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah, what I suggest, just keep that puck away from their D, right? So whether it's the far boards or near boards, when you do dump it in and you got to make that line change, do it effectively, so you're going to cause their D to have to chase that down. Nothing that is a quick recovery, because you know you're going to have that winger. In this case, it's going to be the right winger or first forward deep in that zone. Far side boards, away from the bench, looking to recover it. Nice stretch pass.
Eli Ash, Scalarud, and Edison Barnes out there, offsides, just outside the line here. Got Liam McDonald and Jake Crowell out on D.
The other trick you can have in the bag is just stay in their offensive zone the entire time.
Yeah, that helps. Hard to score when you're in your end the whole time. Oh, nice play by Crowell to get that, evade that forecheck in the neutral zone and get that puck deep. Good forecheck by Barnes, just off the stick of Scalarud, but centering pass to Scalarud on his backhand. That comes up and out, and that's a 2-on-0. Colorado Springs, beautiful save by Elijah. I think Crowell fell down just at the blue line, or was that Teddy? Created a 2-on-0, and Elijah made a great save.
Yeah. It's number 2 in breakaways today for Mr. Elijah.
Here we go, battle on the wall here. Ash Scalarud and Liam McDonald. Liam comes up with it, goes to Teddy Armitage, and he's just going to
relieve the pressure.
Relieve the pressure, get that up over the blue line. They're going to change with that long line change. Here we go. Springs has got 2 players at the far blue line. And Liam McDonald makes another breakaway saving interception. Springs another player wide open on the blue line. And icing just off his stick, but Regis, second period, bench further away, missing 3 guys now wide open, 20 feet behind him.
You can see it coming a mile away. So again, favorable play for us that time. They had to go from D to D before they could hit that stretch, as I was talking about. So that worked in our favor a little bit, but that long change is a tough one.
If Liam McDonald doesn't get his stick on that puck, that would have been another 2-on-0.
Yeah.
Springs this time on the face-off, doesn't have a man stretching, and Regis is able to get that puck in. Drake Woody to pick that up. He's got some pressure, gets to his forehand. And there's a breakout pass to Camden Lai, but that's a turnover just outside the blue line. And a nice shot block by Drake Woody. Send that into the corner. Drake Woody and Jake Crowell just keeping the forwards to the outside. Quick D-to-D by Springs and a hard shot low wide of the net into the corner.
Good job by Camden Lai to get in the lane.
And that puck's up and out, and Camden Lai's got wheels, and he might get there first. There's a puck race. He gets tied up on a wall, and Avery Osgood comes in for support, and he gets to that puck.
I don't think the Springs D realized that Lai was going to come flying like that. We got another man down.
Flat bat down, and that's a 3-on-1. Hard shot, nice save by Elijah.
That's Carter that went down there. Yeah.
All right. With the goalie jersey. All right. Hunter Ralstad coming in wide, tries a shot, but blocked by Osgood, and he's limping. He's going to try and get off the ice. And they're going to try and get that puck down in before they can get a line change. So Parker Brenner, Matthew Carter back in the quarter. He just rims it up. Springs is going to get that. They get it down low, top of the circle. Quick shot, another good save by Hernandez. Puck goes into the corner.
We need somebody on that.
Springs, another shooting opportunity. This time Elijah smartly gets a whistle. But that was 3-4 quick shots from the point
Yeah, I often say the goalies know the game the best out of everybody. They see the game in front of them. They know what the D, the offense, they got everyone's position down. And Elijah intentionally there stops the play. Yep. He knew that he had some wingers. He had some D out there that were long in their shift. Smart play to stop it, gloves it. 13:49 to go in the second period. Get some fresh legs out, some fresh lungs. Let's get back after it here, boys.
All right, Nolan, Williams, Gregory, Waters, Brenner. Puck gets squirted over the line. Back in. They're going to go D to D to Waters. Waters gets it to his forehand and chips to the wide side of the ice. And Regis going to send that down, and the goalie plays it so no icing. Gives an opportunity with Springs with the long change for Regis to get a forecheck going. Nice play by Colorado Springs to get it over their line. Matthew Carter back. Puck rebound squirts out in front, and that's in the net. So Matthew Carter did a nice job to get position in the corner, but the back check wasn't there, and Springs kept coming. So
got F1 coming in here with the puck, delivers it to the middle. Just it's F3 coming in high that picks up the loose puck in the slot and buries it.
Yeah, a little puck watching. Matthew Carter had good body position. They thought they were safe, and the rebound came right out in front, and the third guy coming in puts it right under the bar. Nice looking shot by Colorado Springs there. Nothing Hernandez could do on that.
The name on the jersey looked like number 20 Turner. So the Springs will take a 2-1 lead, 13-11 to go in the middle frame.
Springs right off the faceoff, pushes to the blue line, but it's turned over into the neutral zone. Teddy Armitage is going to throw that back up onto the wall. Regis comes with speed into the zone wide. That's Edison Barnes. Curls around, maintains control, loses his footing, still has the puck. He's going to tie that up to Yahaya. Yahaya chips to Armitage, and there's another battle with Barnes in the middle of it. Finally, it comes up and out. McDonald has to play that back up the wall. Barnes gloves it. He's going to go wide with a man heading to the net. That's Sorensen behind the net. He's probably going to try and hand off, but they both get tied up together. And Springs with a saucer pass that misses his player and goes all the way down. Icing waved off.
Not sure why.
Well, Liam McDonald with a nice play to evade the pressure and get it up over the blue line. Off his shin pad, and he's down into the corner with the battle. Camden Lai gets there for support. Springs comes up with it, but nobody on the wall. And Harry Sorensen ties that puck up. Teddy Armitage with the wide of the net. Camden Lai comes down and ties up in the corner with Harry Sorensen, but that puck's not out. High up and out, and Liam McDonald got his body on it, kept it in. Harry Sorensen hit hard, loses his stick. Springs is going to come up through the neutral zone with speed, but that's a 1-on-3.
Nice body, Woody.
Hit hard by Woody at the blue line. And Brenner is going to show some nice patience, wait for a regroup in the neutral zone. Hits Sorensen coming through the neutral zone. Sorensen turns back to the middle, not offsides. Springs, forecheck by Brenner in the neutral zone, and all they can do is throw it into the corner. Drake Woody is going to get there first. Up the wall to Nolan Williams. That puck gets sent to the other side. Gregory's going to come up with that and get that up and out. Springs D to D in the neutral zone, back to the middle off the stick of his player, but they're going to get there first. Teddy Armitage squeezes him out, throws that puck up the wall, and Nolan Williams is going to forecheck with Gregory.
Somebody go in there.
And they read both
stretch.
Both read stretch and backed off the play.
Yeah.
Springs, two guys behind the net. One goes down, Regis goes down. Brenner finally comes up with it, makes a nice pass, and he's got a 3-on-2 coming. Brenner's going to take that right through the middle, get a shot on net.
Nice look.
Nice look. Gregory behind the net gets help from Scallerud. Scallerud gets checked off the puck, and Springs will come up and out with that. Matthew Carter tries to poke in the neutral zone, and that's a centering pass just off the stick of Springs. Nice job there by Gregory. Strong on his stick to win that battle in the neutral zone. Matthew Carter's going to gain the line and send that deep.
Their D are pinching almost 100% of the time, Will. Meaning that if you're going to break out of that zone, you got to do what Gregory just did, which is get it up off the glass, chip it up a little higher than maybe you're used to. That, or you got to be breaking out with numbers and have a center or a winger curling with you so you can hit tape-to-tape passes.
Yeah.
But they're pinching every time. Even on their pinch, their weak side D is kind of crawling towards that middle, even a little stronger. So there's no easy lane to come out of your offensive or your defensive zone.
Yeah.
So answer to that test is get it up off the glass, chip it out and chase it, and then speed through the neutral zone into the offensive zone.
Here we go. We got Scalrud, Brenner, and maybe Williams out there with a face-off win and a shot from Carter just wide of the net. And that puck's going to come all the way down. They're not going to call, they are going to call an icing. So
it's a lot of work to hold your arm up. As many times as we're going to have icing, a little love for the linesmen here. You don't expect them to be raising their hand for the duration of every icing every time, do you?
It would help me. It would help me.
Let's just assume they're going to blow it as an icing. But that is a lot of work. High expectations.
Nice face-off win by Ash. He ties up on the wall with Barnes. Barnes just a bulldog on the corner. He's digging for the puck. And of course he comes up with it again. Centers it, but nobody there, and Colorado Springs sends it all the way down.
I'll help you out
again.
with this one, Will. That's an icing.
That's an icing.
No arms going up. It's going to be an icing. Yeah, you're never going to hear a Springs coach get on his players for icing the puck. It's part of their game, part of their style. They're looking for that stretch.
Well, when you got a guy like Barnes in the corner who comes up with it most of the time and centers that thing, and you don't have the situation that you want, they're just going to reset with an icing every time. No damage. Face-off Windack in the corner. Ihaya gets checked off the puck, but finds it on his stick and tries to center that puck on the back of the net right now. Springs high off the glass again, but Teddy's going to cycle that back down to Ihaya and Camden Lai. Camden Lai moving his feet, gets to the puck, but Springs comes up with it and once again ices that. Feeling the pressure. If they don't have the flow and the structure they want, they'll ice it.
Yeah, that was entirely predicated on the need for a line change.
Yeah.
And a little pause in action here. So it looks like what we're going to do is probably a mid-period or a midway point through the game. We're going to take a break for a ZAM.
Okay, indeed we are, with 8:26 left in the second. We'll take probably a 10-15 minute pause, and we'll be right back with you here as soon as that's completed.
You know what my favorite part about that is, Will?
You get to sit down.
Yeah. we get a break.
See you in a few, folks.
See ya. All right, well, as the players make their way back onto the ice for, we're so used to saying, the third period. Let's not get that mistaken. It's the second period at the 8:26 mark of the second period. So we should have a offensive zone face-off coming up. Before we get into the second half of the second period, again, a big thank you to Abuelo Polito, Abuela Myra. What we need from you guys at home right now, we've already sponsored the game, and thank you for that. We need you to send us some good vibes.
There you go.
I want to see Connor put the biscuit in the basket here in the second or third period, and that's going to happen. Just send us some good vibes. They're grandparents of Mr. Connor Ihaya.
Well, and also thank you always to Shaw Hockey Productions. What a fabulous setup they do. They've got it down to a science here. Cameras on both ends, above each goal, replays, great stuff.
Every time we join Mike Shaw and his broadcast crew coming into the rink, it's a few head turners. People are looking at us like going, high school hockey, right? That's quite a production. It really is quite a production. For those of you at home that don't know, let me share a few facts about what Mike does every time we broadcast one of these things. He's here an hour early. He's got, in this case, an hour drive to support us for this broadcast. He stays about 45 minutes to an hour to break it down to take it home at the end of the day. And then he goes home and spends probably an hour and a half editing the game, downloading it to get us the links.
Labor of love.
It is a labor of love. So we're exceptionally grateful for that. And of course, as you indicated, all our sponsors and their generosity in bringing these games to our fans at home.
Well, and it's extremely green and eco-friendly because all you folks don't have to drive. You can just tune in from your house. So he's doing a big job for the environment as well.
Should we try the same? Should we, like the Olympics are getting broadcasted out of Connecticut, should we try to broadcast these things from like a Parker? And
all right, here we go, face off. Spring zone gets chipped up, but Teddy Armitage. Ooh, and he gets taken down hard, no call.
Am I mistaken, and I'm probably going to jinx one of these two teams here, but am I mistaken, or has there been no penalties thus far through the game?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Pretty clean game. Turnover at the blue line, but Regis finally comes up with it. Ash over to Barnes in a quick shot. Springs is going to regroup with a defenseman behind the net. That's Ralsted. He's got a forechecker, Pete Armitage. Curls back, goes D to D. They're looking for the stretch again, but off the shin pad of Ralsted and up and out, and they're going to send that back down. Liam McDonald sends that back across the line, and quickly Springs gets it up and out.
You and I were discussing in the, we'll call it the intermission, but a little bit of an adjustment from our Raiders. Typically, we may do a 2-1-2, two forecheckers, F1 and F2 in deep chasing it. That adjustment that's been made today is we're sending one guy in, keeping the two forwards back so that we can prevent those passing lanes or clog up those passing lanes with what is a very well-established and set play by the Springs team.
Yep, working so far. That squirts out. Drake Woody chasing, but a forehand opportunity and a nice save by Elijah on the left-hand pad down low. Cycling back down to the corner. It squirts out in front. Loose puck. Centered out in front. Springs is there, but I believe Williams comes up with that, and he's going to cross the line by himself. Takes a shot wide of the net. Does a pirouette, and he's going to go for a line change. Nice play by Jake Crowell at the neutral zone red line to get that into Camden Lie down low. He centers it out in front, but no shot. Springs harassed on the breakout. Avery Osgood loses his stick, forechecking in the middle.
Oh, he went down, looked pretty uncomfortable on that spinorama to the ice.
Drake Woody tries to clear, and it's off the skate of a Springs defender and onto the stick of the...
That ought to be too many men on the ice. We missed that one.
Right-handed shooter, but another nice save by Hernandez. Another shot. Off into the corner. Camden Lie centers that puck to Ihaya. It's intercepted, high slot, shot wide of the net. Springs gets there first. This time forechecked hard by Ihaya, who sends it up the wall to Avery Osgood. Avery Osgood reverses back down to Ihaya. Springs is all over him in the corner, though. Finally, Jake Crowell comes up with that, but finds himself on his backhand, forechecked hard in the corner, turned over again. Springs with it on the wall, under control. Finally, Drake Woody with a hard hit.
Yeah, 3-on-1 there. And that should be a penalty right there, number 13. Just cleared the Raider stick out of the zone. And you are not permitted to move the opponent's stick. It's an interference call every time you do that. He literally, maybe the ref saw that as a safety precaution, perhaps getting the stick out of the way.
Oh, and a nice centering feed. Elijah cuts off the angle and forces a bad shot. Drake Woody picks that up. Backhand chip to Ash. Ash centers it up to Scallered. Scallered's going to dump that deep and go hard after his own dump. Springs turns it quickly, though, and Scallered is there to stymie it. Barnes across the blue line chips it over, but it's up and out, and Crowell's going to send it back deep, and that's just wide of the net. Hits behind the net. Regis is going to change with a Springs player on the far blue line, but Waters does a nice job of sniffing that out and sending it right back up and in. Springs another stretch pass, can't handle it, and Waters is again there to get it up and out quickly. Smart play over to Nolan Williams and Parker Brenner, 2-on-2. Springs off the skate of their own player, it deflects into the neutral zone, and Waters finds himself flat-footed because of the deflection. 2-on-1, perfect pass and shot.
Yeah, winds up, nice little fake shot, leans on his right leg, gives the our goaltender Elijah a little look like he's going to fire it, and then he slips one backdoor to his teammate and pokes it in. We're a 3-1 deficit with 3:59 to go in the second period.
Yeah, and Regis defenseman Liam Waters had no chance on that because the clearing pass went deflected hard off the skate of a Springs player and changed the angle and dropped right on the far blue.
Kudos to the Springs team too. Again, they are fearless with their forecheck. Oftentimes 3 guys in deep. They got confidence in their D side.
3-on-1. Ihaya over to Lai, tries to go back to the middle, but broken up by the defenseman. And back up over the Regis line. Liam McDonald's going to chip that on the wall, and Camden Lai's got a 2-on-1 with Harry Sorensen, and he's going to shoot high into the netting. That puck turned on end. Camden did not get the shot he wanted.
Yeah, you and I again we were talking in between the periods or at the break. Simplified game for the Colorado Springs team, right? They've got those if-when statements, which is if you're in this situation, this is what you're going to do, and they're exceptionally disciplined throughout. So hats off to the coaching staff. They got these kids playing the game that they want to play, and they stick to their game plan.
Good hard step up by Liam McDonald at the red line. Keep forcing that puck up through the neutral zone. Finally, they bat it in, but Ralstad is there. He's going to go high off the glass, and Teddy Armitage is going to have to go back quickly. He gets it D to McDonald. He's got a man. Center ice, Barnes was flying the zone, and it gets intercepted out of midair by Colorado Springs. Save a breakaway. Liam McDonald driving the net off the side of the net with a shot. He's going to tie that up behind the net. Pete Armitage forechecking with, I believe that's Barnes, who's got it behind the net, centers it.
Nice look.
Just off the stick of Armitage, but then hits Teddy, and Teddy hits the crossbar. He was looking for his forward in front, Pete, but it jumped Pete's stick and went to his brother Teddy, who hit the crossbar. So with 2:19 left in the second, Colorado Springs 3, Regis 1. Face-off win back to Springs. Makes a nice move under pressure from Brenner to get that up to the wing. And they've got a guy fly in the middle. Drake Woody gets a piece of it. But Jake Crowell goes down hard in the corner. Springs looking to the middle, centers one, but Brenner is there to force it behind the net. Crowell and Brenner behind the net with Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs trying to get that out in front, but nobody there with any time and space. Drake Woody finally comes up with it, and he's got a man on him. And there's a player down behind the net. I didn't see that, but there was a tie-up behind the net. Puck came loose. Jake Crowell giving a pat on the back of the Springs player who must have gone down awkwardly near the dasher.
Yeah, Kroll not unfamiliar with that kind of play. He was down for a little bit yesterday, and he was tied up in a collision there behind the net today. Wanted to make sure his opponent was okay as the whistle had gone. Some good sportsmanship, Mr. Kroll.
So the pace is picked up, it feels like to me, Alan. Both teams battling really hard for those loose pucks. Springs on the center ice faceoff, goes that stretch pass wide. Waters with a nice check under the corner.
I just compliment that thought.
Oh, and a good centering pass and a chance. Good save by Elijah. Waters rims that around. Camden Lai can't get there. Springs cycles back down low behind the net with two players on him. Finally three up the wall to Lai. Lai makes a nice move inside the blue line. Carries that across. He's got Ihaya with a shot just wide. Couldn't get all of it. And then a quick rebound and a shot in front. So that was Camden Lai, Connor Ihaya, and I believe Avery Osgood was out there as well, and they came down 3-on-2, got two quick shots out of it.
Yeah, Lai felt that pressure again. He knew he was going to have a strong pinch, even though really in that play, almost 90% of the time, D's going to drop out of the zone. So we create that odd man rush by Lai making a nice little move and coming out of his D zone.
Face off down in the corner. Barnes got his stick caught under the boards. He has no stick right now. It almost snapped in half. He's going to go retrieve it, and he does.
I don't think there's much life left in that stick. Well,
maybe not.
There it goes down again.
Springs, quick turn through the neutral zone, centering pass, and a nice backhand no look, but Scallerid is there to collect it. Scallerid gains the line. Linesman.
Beautiful check by the Stripes.
Takes Barnes down, and Regis will dump that back into the other end.
10 seconds left in the period.
So Springs with one more stretch chance to Elijah. Elijah's going to freeze that with 3.5 seconds left.
He didn't freeze it. He actually tried to send it into the corner, but I think the linesman knew the original intention. Quick whistle, so 3.5 seconds, and we'll see. And I was just going to mention, we'll see if the Springs coach pulls a goaltender. And he does indeed do that. So there's going to be 6 skaters for the Tigers out there against 5 for the Raiders, and a bit of a set play here.
So Sutterman does a good job of just tying that up, not letting that puck loose for 3.5 seconds there.
You've had your fair share of days coaching, Will, as I have likewise. I've had this discussion with my son, maybe around the dinner table a few times. What is that comfortable amount of time that you feel? Now they're up by a goal here. It's 3.5 seconds to pull your goaltender in an offensive zone face-off. I think that's probably a half second too far out of my zone.
I think depends how well you're doing on the face-offs, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd stretch it out to maybe 3. I know a lot of coaches that probably want it in 2 seconds. Fastest goal in the history of hockey off of a center ice face-off is what? Do you know?
Gosh, I don't know. I bet it's about 3 seconds, 2.5.
It's 1.1 seconds.
That's pretty darn quick.
Face-off win against, I think it was the Montreal Canadiens, and I don't remember the opponent. I think it might have been Washington. And it was a face-off win. The winger picked it up and flung it down the ice right off of the face-off win, and it was an empty netter. So it took 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that with a center ice face-off, but feels a lot more comfortable down in their end.
Well, it does indeed feel more comfortable there, but I promise you there's not a 2-second gap between that dot and that one. So, hey, good on them for taking the chance. They're up by a goal. I think that would probably be the difference maker for me personally, would be if I'm up or down in the game.
Yeah.
And that would help make that decision. But you mentioned the pace of that second half of the second period. And after the Zam break, I thought the pace was really good. Both teams moving their legs, high energy level. Is queuing us up for a really good third period here.
Yep, and indeed it is. The third period, 17 minutes on the clock. Colorado Springs 3, Regis 1. Our third and final period getting ready to start with Alex Gregory, Brenner, and that's Nolan Williams out there. So
yep.
Teddy Armitage gains the red line. And he's going to dump that down behind the net with Brenner on the forecheck. Brenner, defenseman evades him and is going to carry the line and go cross ice, but intercepted by Gregory at the red line. Gregory gets that over the blue line, but it's up and out to Liam McDonald.
So down by 2 goals, do you change your strategy, Will? Are we going in with 2 forecheckers hard now? We've got to start to create some turnovers. I think we've got to start to take some chances.
Yeah, I would definitely start putting some more pressure down in there and throwing more pucks to the net quicker.
It's going to open the ice up a little bit. We could be in for a dandy of a third period here. Some good offensive chances probably coming on both sides of the ice.
Liam McDonald tries to get it to Gregory and just off his stick, so that'll be down for an icing. Face off down on the Regis end.
49 seconds into the third period. What do we have coming out?
We got Sorensen, Camden Lai, and Connor Ihaya out there with Jake Krall on D and Drake Woody.
All right, Ihaya. Let's see it.
Ihaya wins the faceoff back to Krall. Krall goes D to D. Harry Sorensen up the wall. Can't get to it, and a quick shot by Springs. And that careens up high to the defenseman who centers it. Down low, quick shot and a rebound. Sorensen picks that up. Tries to center to Camden coming out of the zone, but behind him. Intercepted, finally gets it up and out. Springs quickly D to D up to their man on the blue line. They're coming zone entry with a man in the middle. Quick shot and a rebound, but good D by Regis to tie up the sticks of Colorado Springs, and there's a tie up behind the net. Springs comes up with it, curling off the shin pads of Regis and up and out. Colorado Springs is going to take that wide through the neutral zone, but checked hard by Eli Ash, and they'll have to regroup. Look for that stretch pass intercepted by Pete right at the red line. And Springs is going to regroup and send that up high into the zone. Barnes battling down on the wall, has a man in the middle, just off his stick. It was Pete Armitage. He lost it back to the Springs, and they get the red line and send it back down. Jake Krall in the corner. Colorado Springs tries to go up to the D, and they do. Nice move at the blue line to the opposite D. But a shot block by Barnes sends it back into the far corner.
Good job by Barnes getting in the lane there.
Puck still loose at the top of the blue line, finally up and out.
No one wanted it there, Will. 4 or 5 sticks that were swinging at it. No one making a connection.
4 guys, wasn't sure where that puck was going to squirt out.
I just saw Dan Miller, who is the father of our backup goaltender, number 33, Ryan Miller, tonight. Saw him walk by me. He's probably wondering why his son is playing D.
Brenner makes an area pass through the neutral zone. Springs picks that up, and they're going to send it up the wall, but Alex Gregory is there. Matthew Carter back in the number 33 goalie jersey to send that puck up, and this is a 2-on-2 with Ihaya. He's got Nolan Williams in front and Alex Gregory up high.
And sort of change the speed by Ihaya breaking in on that right-hand side.
Yeah, and Gregory settled into that shooting position, but he just couldn't get it to him, and there's a loose puck in front, but Ihaya taken down, and Springs again tries to stretch. Waters is there to get that behind the net, but it's an icing before he gets to it.
I think Waters pivoted there. He opened up and a little mohawk on that turn. I think intentionally. I think he did that in order for that icing to take effect. Because any different angle he had taken, that was not going to be an icing. So he's going to go for a break, bring on his D partners, Mr. Liam McDonald, and we got Teddy Armitage out there.
Yep. Osgood, Camden Lai. Nice step up by Liam McDonald at the blue line.
Missed on the contact, but made him play, just take a different angle. Worked equally as well.
Liam McDonald D to Teddy, up to Avery. Avery makes a nice move and tries to center that to Camden Lai. And there's a pile of players down in the Regis zone. Again, softer forecheck with only one guy, and Regis is keeping a guy higher.
Yeah, that might have been because we lost our feet with a couple players in the neutral zone.
Another stretch pass play just beyond McDonald, and he comes in with a quick forehand shot, but a low angle, and Elijah sees it and makes a nice save.
Yeah, number 16 for the Springs coming in on that left-hand side. A sneaky low shot trying to find that shore side. Not the easiest of saves by any means. Positioned well, Elijah was, and held his ground, but that's really tough when you see a player winding up. Your instinct is probably coming high, trying to pick a top shelf, but he held his ground, kept his pad secure to the post, made a nice little save. Harder than it looks, I promise you guys at home.
Another nice forecheck by Barnes at the far blue, but Springs gets it up and out. They send that, and that's going to be on net. So Liam McDonald comes back behind the net, waits patiently, goes to Teddy. Teddy backs up, goes back to Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald, no one on the wall, so he sends that up and over, and Springs has got that back down. Elijah throws it the other direction. Teddy and Liam battling in the corner. Teddy Armitage ties his man up. Liam McDonald joins. Kellen Stallerud turns that back to the middle, and the puck is loose, but finally Armitage picks that up and gets the zone, but Springs is right back in with a nice move and a good defensive step up by McDonald. Prevent that shooting opportunity. Alex Gregory coming in wide. He's got two men. Nolan Williams finds it back on his stick on the forehand. Nice shot and a rebound in front, but all three forwards got below the puck, and Springs is back up and out through the neutral zone hard. And Jake Crowell has to come back hard, and does. Drake Woody behind the net with Parker Brenner. Alex Gregory finally gets that and sends it down for an icing.
Yeah, well, to me at this point in time of the game, with 11 minutes to go in the contest, I think it's time that we do start sending everything we have at the net. It's going to create some opportunities going the other way. If there's a turnover, you get that F3 in too deep, and that's automatically with the turnover going to create an odd man rush going the other way. But you're down by 2, you got nothing to lose. Let's start sending it.
Yep.
And the other piece of that is maybe having our D start to move the puck a little bit as well. A little more pinching in the offensive zone. Let's get that puck moving through the neutral zone, get some offensive zone pressure.
Yep, little risk reward, and you saw it there with that chance. It was a good scoring opportunity, but 3 guys low, and the rebound comes out high, and they're all below the puck. So Camden Lai breaking down the left-hand side. He breaks free. Oh, and nice forehand shot and a save by the goalie. Picks up his own rebound. But Springs finally gets that, and he's looking wide.
It's Sorensen coming in there on the on that second play, just missed connecting with him right in the slot.
So Springs turns that puck back into the corner. He's got 3 guys on him as they change the lines. Sorensen on the forecheck. Nice saucer pass to the middle of the ice. And Springs just throws an area pass back into the zone for their player, who picks it up first. Checked hard by Crowell. Crowell turns it over to their winger for a quick shot on net, and another quick shot. 2 blocker saves by Elijah.
Second one was a beauty.
And the puck is down below into the corner. Drake Woody puts a check on.
Game's getting a little chippy out there too, Will.
Yep.
Physical play is picking up.
Puck goes deep, and Edison Barnes is going to forecheck. The man backhands that up through the neutral zone, and they gain the zone, but a hard back check, and they send the puck back down for an icing of our own.
All right, we're 3 games into the weekend. I'm sure the boys are a little tired. We're 2 victories so far this weekend. 9:12 to go left in hockey. It's digging deep. get our second, third, maybe our fourth win here. Finish this one off strong. We're down 3-1, 9:12 left in the game, as I indicated.
So face-off on the left-hand side here. Tied up, still in the dot. Springs drives and goes down with a trip. So Colorado Springs were puck squirted down below the dot, and the Springs player got there first. And Regis had to, all they could do to recover was reach the stick out, which got in the skates of the Springs player.
That'd be Matthew Carter, who stuck the stick out there, but on the score sheet, that's going to go down as Ryan Miller's first penalty of the year. So Matthew Carter says, I'm going to take one. Probably today's the game to do it. I cannot express to you guys how confusing it is to look out there and see that 33 in the place of 11 and still be able to call that name out accurately throughout the game. Well done, Mr. Damrath.
Colorado Springs high-low from the point. Nice deflection, area pass in front, but wide of the net. Springs collects down low. Teddy gets a hard forecheck on. And Regis still trying to get possession here to get that puck up and out. Committing 2 guys on the wall leaves 3 guys open, but they do get the puck up and out, and they're able to change while Springs regroups behind their net. So Springs posting a guy on the far blue line and the red line with the extra attacker. They easily skate across the red line, but force a play to the middle, which allows Regis to get their stick on it and clear the zone.
Yeah, they post 2 guys up at that blue line and just stretches the ice out a ton. You know, the answer to that is you stretch out with it. Just keep your D back. Don't let them in behind you.
Edison Barnes with a nice forecheck on the penalty kill, gets his stick on it. And Liam McDonald tries to step up, but Nolan Williams finally gets there and clears the zone.
45 left in the PK.
So good neutral zone forecheck by Regis on the penalty kill, and a quick high shot just off Elijah's glove into the corner. Regis committing 3 guys to the puck to get control of that and clear the zone.
I said hats off to the Colorado Springs coaches for their disciplined play, but I love the adjustment that our coaches have made likewise to match up against their system. We need a few breaks. That's it.
Take away their time and space and get to where they're going with the puck before they send it there. Nice D-to-D to Liam McDonald. That's going to kill some more time, and that'll do it for the penalty. Even strength. Colorado Springs again on the line change. He's got a guy at the far blue line. They feed it up to him, but Regis gets back. Tries to send it to his D, but miscommunication by Springs. They're going to gain the line and dump that back in. Avery Osgood and Drake Woody working together to get that out of the zone, and a nice pass to Cameron Elias. Step up by Springs at the blue line forces him to lose it just inside the blue line. Springs comes up with it in the high blue line. Quick shot blocked by Drake Woody. Loose puck in front. Blocked by Camden Lyon, cleared up out of the zone.
Yeah, it's good to have Woody back on the ice after missing a couple games.
He definitely gets in your way. So Springs will send that back down. Woody and Crowell tie up behind the net with Connor Ihaya.
Drake Woody, one of the nicest kids that I've ever met in my life. Not on the ice, though.
Puck finally comes loose. Connor Ihaya tries to get it. It comes up to the Colorado Springs D, who's going to send it back down under the corner. Another tie-up. Camden Lai gets his stick on it. Bounces over to Avery Osgood, and D falls down. And Osgood, by himself, sends it deep for a line change. Springs again sending a guy up high to the middle. And they're going to come through the zone one-on-one with Waters. Waters does a nice job tying up the body so they can't get a shooting opportunity. Puck in the corner.
Chip it and go. Let's go.
Eli Ash chips that up the wall to Barnes. Barnes back down to Pete Armitage, fires it on net, and the rebound comes way up high, and Springs gets it up and out quickly.
That was the play I was calling for there and looking for. Just chip it past their D. You know they're going to pinch. They've established that 100% of the time they're sending somebody in after that puck carrier. You got to find a way to chip it past him, and you're going to get odd man rushes going the other way. Let's see if we can take advantage of a few of those in the last 5 minutes.
Centering pass, deflected high, and Elijah gloves it.
Waters did that on purpose. So I'm going to do a little pitching wedge here. Chip it up to my buddy Elijah. But, here it is on the replay.
Yep.
Little pitching wedge for Elijah. Elijah, stop the play. Let me go for a break. Let's reset and go.
Got Nolan Williams, Alex Gregory out there. Quick shot from the point. Glove save by Elijah.
He's had a good game today, Mr. Damrath. Elijah's been sharp.
Yeah, definitely has been on his game. Really solid so far. 4:40 left in the third. 3-1 Colorado Springs. Teddy Armitage off the wall. Turned over at the blue line, and another quick shot from the point. But Elijah's seeing everything right now.
Yeah, deja vu all over again. I think that's the third glove save, 3 stoppages, all within about 10 seconds here.
The Springs doing a nice job of clogging up the breakout here.
There's a
And
chip.
finally, Regis chips that to Nolan Williams. He's got Gregory in the middle. Fans on the pass, but it goes up high. Almost hits the crossbar, but up and over. And there's a loose puck. Teddy Armitage finds himself down in the corner looking for a man. Up to Liam McDonald. Liam McDonald back down, and it gets chipped to Alex Gregory behind the net. He gets checked hard, but keeps it in his skates, and it finally comes up to Liam McDonald at the point. He makes a quick shot to the net, and no rebound. Gregory and Brenner right on the doorstep. Liam made a nice quick shot.
Holding the line, both our D in those cases. We got big bodies on that last shift. Gregory cycling the puck well down low. Got good traffic out in front for McDonald's shot. I like that last shift.
Good sequence, running out of time. 3:57 left in the game. Liam McDonald sends that back in. They have to check up.
Yeah, McDonald stepped up. Get 2 guys behind him, but that's the play we got to make now. It is not the time to be sitting back on our blue line. If they want to send 2 guys in deep, we're going to have to take some risky chances, see if we can cut off some of those stretch passes they've been making for the last 2 contests now.
Yep, and with 3:43 left, there's going to be several more icings. You really got to take advantage of these offensive zone faceoffs here late in the game.
Hopefully we don't need it, but when it comes down to those last few minutes, a 2-goal deficit, I generally like to see our kids to have a chance at least with perhaps 2 minutes to go, maybe a little more, 2:30. So we'll see if we're going to be pulling our goalie anytime here soon. There's 3:25 left in the contest.
Springs, nice poke check by the D.
You got numbers.
Turn that to Camden Lai. He's got Harry Sorensen 2-on-1. Sorensen, nice pass and a shot and a goal.
Beautiful.
Executed perfectly. Man, that was pretty. So Camden Lai moved that puck quickly through the neutral zone to Harry. They were both on their forehands, and Harry drove the net, put himself in a position to shoot and pass, gave a little bit of a hesitation like he was going to shoot and put it right on Camden's forehand.
Well, there's not many times that you have a breakout coming out of really your own dots. The 2-on-1 started. So that was 3 forwards in deep for the Springs again. Quick turnover. Found Harry on that left side. Harry could have driven that net, carried it just long enough to open up his offside winger and sink it for a goal. We're down by 1 with 3 minutes to go. 3-2.
Here we go, 2:56. Springs gains the red line. Shot comes to the net. Elijah's gonna freeze that. Get a face-off down here. So just what the doctor ordered.
And if there's one thing that maybe works in our favor, it seems that the Springs only know one direction, and that is offense and forward, and it works to their favor. But maybe we can take advantage of that a little bit and create some more odd man rushes going the other way.
So face off over to Crowell on the wall. He goes down. Puck is still not out. Comes out into the feet of Crowell, and he gets that up and out. Stretches. Scalrud is on chase with Eli Ash up high. And Edison Barnes is way up high, and he's going to come down and seal off that wall.
That's our 2 men deep that we were talking about. Get after it now.
Eli Ash commits to the battle, and now Scalrud pushes in, and Barnes is going to come down hard on it. Out to Skellerud. Springs finally comes up with it. And a pass through the middle, but the player goes down and allows them to recover. But they gain the line. Edison Barnes looking to the middle, and he picks up his man, and Skellerud is going to ice that down so they can get a line change.
Not a bad play.
Not a bad play at all.
1:55 to go in the third period.
Edison Barnes found himself in front of the net with a man driving in a defensive position he's not used to.
It was the same man that took the shot. He kind of just circled the net. He had speed in his favor. Barnes, he made the right move. Just dump it in deep. Reset, and here we go.
Haya on the draw, loose puck in the dot. To the line, not out. Turned back, but Teddy steps up and gets the line. He's going to gain the red line and the blue line. Put that deep. 3 guys down below after that. Brenner, Armitage, and Springs comes up with it.
Goalie's pulled.
Goalie is pulled. Springs finding themselves through the neutral zone, just off the post. And they still have life, but turned over behind the net. Hard check by Matthew Carter.
They are fearless. They got 3 guys deep.
Chip high up the glass, and Regis is up with 4 guys, and Ash driving. He gets interfered with, no call. That was a breakaway chance, and Ash just got picked in the middle of the ice. The ref didn't see it. Centering pass, just off the stick of Ash. Camden Lai tries to center that, and that's an icing. Looking for the empty netter.
So in the last contest we played against the Springs, we were down by 1, pulled our goalie. They got 2 empty netters, and both their empty netters, if you recall, came from deep in their own zone, where they could have easily turned into icings. They worked in the Springs' favor, good for them. This time that's 2 dumps, looking for long goals. One has resulted in an offensive zone face-off. Will be 6-on-5 with 57.1 seconds to go. Down by 1 goal.
Here we go, Ash with the face-off draw, keeps it right in front, loose in front, and a quick shot.
Can ask for more than that, win the face-off. Good scramble right off the face-off and chip one at the net, see if we can sink one. 52.9 to go.
Beautiful job by Ash there, just tying that man up at the face-off circle, and Barnes coming in hard to put that right to the net. Ash again ties that up. Springs, all they can do is chip high off the glass, and they do, but Liam McDonald is going to come back with 45 seconds left. The man on him quick. Goes D to Crowell. Crowell hits a man, Pete Armitage, coming in wide on the right-hand side under the forehand of Ash. Good shot off the shaft of the goaltender, and they try and chip high, and that puck's up and out.
He's got speed.
And he's going to get to it first, and that might do it.
Got caught a little flat-footed on the blue line, trying to pinch there. You got to do what you got to do. You could see the Springs player. He saw it coming. He knew that if that puck was loose, he was going to blow through those D with speed, and he did indeed. Nice safe shot. Waited until he got into the offensive zone. Put one in the net, so that's now 3 goals against in 2 games that are empty netters. So they got a 4-2 lead with 20 seconds to go in the contest, and we're going to leave Elijah in for the balance of the game, I believe. Great contest today, Will.
Yep. Could have gone either way there. A lot of pressure from Regis in that last 30 seconds. But here we go. Avery Osgood with 9 seconds left isn't going to get there for another shot, but Springs turns, 1 second left, and that's going to do it. So
wow.
Nice battle.
Great battle. It's a ton of fun coming out here doing this. I wouldn't want to do anything other than this. I wish we could do this 7 days a week. It was only 3 days this weekend. Let's turn this into a 7-day-a-week job. I love doing it. The Springs team's impressive. We've got a great program of our own. 2 very well-coached teams and programs. Made some adjustments, as I indicated in this game, to kind of better match up against each other and try to put a W on the board against them. What I tell you, Will, is I think playing a team like this AAA program makes us a better team.
Yeah, I think they enjoy playing our squad as well. So thank you to all the family and players on the Springs team. Thank you to all the Regis families listening in. And thank you to our sponsoring family, Abuelo and Abuela, Connor's grandparents. And thanks to Shaw Hockey Productions, that'll do it for a Sunday night.
We'll see you all next weekend. I will share with you a little tidbit of information here as we go into the next set of games. We're done with the featured players. We got a little fun in store for you guys as we move forward. So
can't wait.
We might move past those players and do something a little bit different.
All right, a little SNL skit or something.
Yeah, I don't know. My commentating's bad enough. You don't want to see my acting.
All right, signing off, folks. Thank you very much.
All right, later.